All right, so we're live now. Yo, welcome everyone to our little podcast here in the corner of the internet. We talk about Weiss Schwarz. Made it to episode 13 somehow, and we got like a special announcement, sort of. It's like already been announced, but pseudo announced,
Pseudo
yeah.
announced, yeah.
Somehow we bumbled our way, not receiving enough video, maintain the smooth experience. What is going on? Is the stream lagging here? Drop frame
Looks
zero.
looks
Why am I getting
fine.
these errors from YouTube? Anyway, yeah. Wait. Yeah, sure. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know why I'm getting these errors popping up.
Stream
I
seems
love
to be
it.
fine. The
Okay.
stream seems to be
Either
fine.
way, we bumbled our way into actually being a part of AnimeEvo this year, which is yeah, it's
That's
really
pretty
cool.
hype.
Like we at least we were working on in the background about like running our own event sometime soon, especially online, since there's not a lot of action as far as competitive play goes for the the North American Weiss Schwarz scene in general, and like anything in the West. um but yeah, we ended up talking to DJ Cream. Also, if you guys see him occasionally in chat, he goes by Daryl. He's one of the organizers actually for AnimeEvo, and we were memeing on stream one night, like, you should add Weiss to Evo, AnimeEvo, and then he messaged us after. He's like, "Hey, I have an in," and here we are. So I'm glad we were able to like organize something. So that's like the most exciting part, at least for the community. But yeah, I mean, how do you guys feel about it? Pretty excited?
Oh yeah.
I think it's a big name tied to it. It's more of a meme. The name is being able to say, I am the Weiss Schwarz Evo champion. Is
No,
like,
no, 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 no. That's not how you're supposed to look at it. You're not supposed to say that.
I'm a
You just
champion
tell
of
people
Evo.
you're
Yeah,
an Evo
you don't tell
champion.
them that was anime.
You don't tell them you're the Anime Evo Weiss Schwarz champion. You just say
Yeah.
you're the Evo
Yeah,
champion.
exactly.
So I think it's good because it's got a big name tied to it. I'm not sure how big Anime Evo is compared to like normal Evo, but like the Evo name carries a lot of prestige. And it is like a tournament, right? It's a tournament that anyone can enter.
Yeah,
that's nice.
One of the big things is
Um,
it's going to be an open bracket. So if you're available during the time, you can
compared to
just
like
join up and hopefully win.
because you have what is it? There's the Weiss Schwarz Invitational, but that's like they curated, so like only a few people can get in. And then we also have like the Bushi Road ones, but you have to sign up for those.
Yeah, the most recent one is like on a first come first serve type of basis.
And in their like cap is pretty small, which is like understandable, but it's still like it's kind of nice to have an event that as many people that want in can get in.
Yeah, that's it. Kind of sucks that their summer festival stuff is kind of like capped at 32 players, but it's what it is. What they can even do online. It's kind of cool. At least Bistro's trying some stuff, but it's really cool that
Yeah.
we have like these community run events, and like Dean was saying earlier, like the fact that there is some like notoriety and like bigger name for like AnimeEvo at least, and all that, it gives a chance for like this card game to have a little bit more exposure than normal, maybe to other people that haven't don't even know about this card game, but like is interested in anime and stuff. Maybe we just can grow the community a little bit from this event. That would be really cool. But yeah, I guess we'll jump into the exact announcements. Let's see. So for those wondering, the format actually is going to be Japanese. We discussed this over, and we kind of just wanted a Japanese format tournament, a bigger one at least. So you'll be able to play any Japanese deck you have. We're going to be following the Japanese ban list and everything like that. And all sets up to the date of the tournament will be legal as long as they're like you're able to actually own them and buy them. So you'll be able to play any JP set you want, which is going to be pretty cool. Hopefully we just don't have like 400 Psychonos enter the tournament. That would be unfortunate. But
It's the
the true Japanese experience, you're right. And then what else do I have here? So one of the big things is, well, I guess, yeah, I just should announce the date, actually. I don't think we announced the date anywhere, so this will be the first place hear from it. The exact date for AnimeEvo is going to be August 29th and possibly bleed into the 30th for the top cut, depending on how many people enter the tournament. We're going to do, right now it's set at a top 8 cut. I think we're just going to keep it there. I don't feel like there's a reason to really expand it unless we get some really crazy numbers on the entry, but I don't think we expect anything bigger than, like, what, 64-man tournament maybe? Or what do you guys think, like, the outcome's going to be for this?
It depends, right? Because didn't you also say, like, just when we were talking internally, some Japanese players might also be maybe looking into trying to
Yeah, I
sneak
saw
their way
some
in?
meme posts, like, from JPFGC players, like, tweeting, like, what, Weiss Schwarz, isn't this a card game? I'm going to enter it, and stuff like that. So depending how much, like, news travels and whether they're able to play during the time, like, I mean, maybe we'll see some JP players in there, but I think there's good. I mean, if it comes up, then it comes up. We'll probably have to work around that if it happens. But I don't really expect too many, like, JP players to actually join the event. But it'll be really,
It is like
yeah,
really outside of their
it'd be really
hours. 'Cause,
interesting.
like, yeah.
So another thing to add to this is that the actual event itself is going to be ran in one day. So it's going to be run Swiss. It's going to be a Swiss tournament. It's going to be for the most part, an all-day thing type of deal, kind of like a normal regional. I think right now we're planning. When I talked to some other organizers, I talked to DJ Cream, Daryl about it. We're looking at like 5, possibly 6 round tournament, depending on number of entries, and then we're going to cut to top 8 from there. Like I said, if the event gets too long, we'll have to extend top 8 into the second day, but hopefully we'll just be able to power through and be able to just do the entire event in one day. All the stream matches will be streamed on this channel. Every round we will be having a showcase match each round of a pairing undefeated or of, like, known players in the community. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have a commentary with that as well. I believe Dean and Nico will be on commentary with me. And depending else who else we have, we might throw someone else in there. But for the most part, I think it's just going to be us 3. Yeah. Is there anything else I'm missing here? Oh, registration for the event is actually... So one of the big things is the registration's free, which is really important to us because we want anyone to enter and have fun. The only downside to us running this event online is that we all came to the conclusion that we have to run this event on Tabletop Simulator, even though, like, we kind of don't want to. But if we're going to have an open bracket and not make this like an invitational, we want to make sure there's as much, like, fair play as possible. And so the only barrier to entry here is owning Tabletop Simulator. In the rules itself, we're going to include links to how to run Tabletop Simulator and make decks for Weiss on Tabletop Simulator. So that's definitely something, if you have never messed around with Tabletop Simulator before, to take a look at before you, I guess, commit to this event and stuff like that. But also, stream-wise, like, being able to stream off a Tabletop Simulator is going to be really nice because we're going to have access to all information from both players' hands and everything like that. So I think it'll be a really fun experience for everyone involved, for the viewers and the players that do enter. Let's see. And yeah, then registration opens up next week. It's going to be, I think, towards the end of next week. They're working on it right now. It's a bit tough, but we're shooting for the sometime next week. It's going to be open registration, and it's going to be through smash.gg. We'll provide links to it once it goes live. I'll be posting it on Twitter and in all the card game discords and stuff, and the competitive Weiss Discord, as well as the Facebook pages that most people do frequent. So you'll be able to find links there for that as well. And then anything else we're missing here? You guys have anything else to add to this? Can't remember if I'm missing anything off the top of my head. It looks like I could hit everything.
I think you hit everything. I'm just answering some of the couple of questions people are having in chat.
Let's see. Is there anything else in chat that you guys want to know about? The chair TCG, like I said, the entry fee is free. The only barrier to entry is owning Tabletop Simulator because, unfortunately, like I said, running this event online is going to just require us to use Tabletop Simulator, especially with an open bracket. You won't be required to own a physical copy of the deck. The only case something might come up is if for some reason something happens and we can't run it on Tabletop Sim. But hopefully if something like that happens, we'll let you know way in advance. But right now, as far as we're concerned, we're running this on Tabletop Simulator. Yeah, and then the sets have to already be released. The cards have to be accessible to players. So none of those like spoiler decks basically. I think that's like basically it, right? Let's see. Winnipeg Weiss. Wait, is Heart of the Cards related to this, and are we following its set balance where I can actually play Skullgirl Strikers? So as far as that goes, Heart of the Cards is not at all involved in this at all. This is just a strictly Burn 1 and AnimeEvo thing where we got together and were able to run this event with them. So all sets that are available and legal in Japanese is available to play at this event, as long as you're able to actually physically own the cards. Yeah, you can play
Cross, guys.
The forbidden set.
The forbidden set.
But yeah, you're welcome to play any set that you like as long as it's available in Japanese, and you have to follow the Japanese ban list. That's like basically it. Otherwise, the entire event is going to be run like a normal regional, except it's just going to be online. You guys see any other questions in chat here?
I think I managed to answer most of the stuff via written.
All right, sweet.
Just scrolling through it. I'm assuming all like the proper instructions and stuff are going to be with that sign-up form. So if people do have any questions, they should be able to reference those just fine.
And hopefully most of the people that do enter are pretty familiar with the normal TCG like tournament structures, like Swiss rounds into Top Cut and so forth after that. Anything else? I think that is it. Looks like Nico hit up most everyone in chat, which is really good. But yeah, I mean, before we move on, if there's any other questions about AnimeEvo and the Weiss Schwarz tournament, let us know in chat right now. Otherwise, we're going to move on to some other topics for today.
Man, it's always... You got to look out for English Papa Bushi, you know? They...
Yeah, literally every Friday 30 minutes before we go live, they just always dump us stuff for us to talk about. We're like, sweet. Oh man. Yeah, I guess if there's no other real questions in chat, once again, before we move on, we'll be releasing the sign-up links and stuff. It'll be through smash.gg. Oh, that's one thing to let you guys know too. We are going to have deck lists involved. We're working on a way for you guys to submit deck lists. It'll probably be through Encore Decks is the best way to do it. But that information will be included with the rule set and everything you see when you do sign up for the event on smash.gg. One thing we didn't talk about. There is prizing for this event. As of right now, it's planned to have... I think we're going to do top 8 mats. And they're going to be like branded... AnimeEvo, well, maybe not. I don't know. It'll be branded like top placing mats, which will be really cool to have. I don't know if they'll be the winners will be able to get them immediately after the event, but they will get them like within the month or so following our Weiss Schwarz event ending or whatever. And then if we end up getting some other prizing from other supporters or something like that, we'll include that in there as well, and we'll make sure that to get that information out there for everyone. I think that is it for AnimeEvo stuff as far as that goes for Weiss. Next thing here is the Weiss Schwarz Invitational. We're like, what, halfway through now? Jesus. Jesh is secretly Papa Yue. We all know that, right? He's like secretly in the ear of Jesh. Oh, we're having that issue again? Okay, I will have to restart this really quick. We'll be right back.
Sent me a link a while ago. Is this it? There it is. So here's the link he sent me if you're like looking for potential singles and stuff to pick up.
All right, we should be back now.
I'll
can you
throw
guys,
it in show notes.
Can you guys hear Nico and Dean? I hope they can hear you now. Damn, I didn't know that they couldn't hear you in the beginning. Maybe that's why we got that error. I hate YouTube sometimes. There's just some weird shit going on. That's for sure. Let me see here. Let me just check one more thing here.
So what were we talking about? We were about the Invitational, how we're in top 4. Trying to get back on track.
Yeah, we can hit that up again because I think that's where we left off. But yeah, what is it?
Really quick, Jeffrey Thompson in chat asked about translation. So there is a thing that will put translations onto the cards itself in Tabletop Sim, which we will include in the actual rule set and information on how to build your deck and everything for Tabletop Sim. So there shouldn't be any issues with translations. But generally, you are also expected to basically know the cards for the most part. You'll have access online to be able to check like translations yourself as well. Make sure no one's like really cheating or anything like that. And if there's ever any issues, we do have judges that will come in and help you guys out. But yeah, that should answer that. But what were we on, guys? I forgot already.
The Weiss Schwarz Invitationals and how winners are about to hit top 4.
And
the only matchup, the only matchups that is left before all of top 4 is decided is Jesh versus Matt. And
Jesh
obviously,
is
since
win that one.
the joke was missed the first time, I'll just say it again. Maybe this time Papa Yue can explain to me who is Jesh. Why do people wish to have sex with this man? Because I'm honestly curious.
Oh man, I don't even know too. I just know he's just some guy from.
He's some guy. He
some
plays
guy.
AOT.
That's about it. He plays AOT.
he plays AOT. He's some guy who plays AOT. He is the only AOT player in. He was the only AOT player in top 8, though.
I know he's playing AOT right now, but does he actually play AOT normally? Is my question.
I don't know.
Because from my understanding, he's just like some dude who works at UA shop.
Who knows?
UA literally gave him AOT. You don't understand.
Yeah, so
UA gave him AOT.
He doesn't play AOT. He was given AOT to play.
No. You don't understand. He was forced to play against UA back when UA really grinded English. And UA is like, listen, Jesh, I really need to learn this AOT matchup. So that means you're going to learn how to play AOT.
All right.
At least that's my headcanon.
That's your headcanon? All right.
Yeah.
That's why he's so good here. But yeah, so what? Most of the top 8 has been decided for winner side at least right now. So we have Patrick on Love Life Sunshine. We have Ryan on Konosuba. And we have David on Card Captor Sakura right now in top 8 for winner side. Like you say,
those guys are actually top 4.
No, that's still top 8.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's technically still top 8. Yeah. There's top 4 winner bracket, I guess, but yeah. And we're waiting on the lower brackets to fill out. Maybe I will finally be able to get my game in if Lamb is finally free, and then I can lose the project right after. Easy. But yeah. So how have you guys been enjoying the event so far? Like we're like a little over halfway through probably now, right? So we've got to experience it all over. I know we casted some games, and then we've seen a lot of other new like casting people show up. Because I know before this, I feel like our channel was the only channel that was doing like Weiss commentary content for the most part, and so it's kind of cool to see all these other people who normally don't do this, take their shot at commentary. So how have you guys been enjoying the game so far?
I guess what I can say is the games have been entertaining because a lot of these games have been clown fiestas, for lack of better words.
There have been a lot of interesting games.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting plays.
Yeah, there have been some wild games. Oh my god. Like, yeah, like I think my game against Kuhn was like really crazy too, and I don't
That
know.
was a pretty cool triple trigger, by the way.
Yeah, dude, I lost to like the most dumb like. I lost to a 40% chance on trigger. If he triggered anything other than a two soul, I lived no matter what. And unfortunately, he triggered the two soul, which he had two in his deck for some reason. Oh man.
Baby rage.
Yep, baby rage, never lucky. Um, yeah, I mean the event so far has been like a lot of fun. At least like seeing all these matches, even though like a lot of them have been like absurdly insane. Like there's wild swings, wild like just really crazy like Saki moments that are just like ridiculous. Like you guys said today, Ryan, like refreshed like pretty decently, then like milled like a bunch.
No, it's Kuhn.
Oh, it was Kuhn. What was
Kuhn,
it? It was
yeah.
like
Kuhn refreshed like halfway decently. Like Vice is really disgusting to watch because it's like this dude refreshes like really compressed, like not even really, but like semi compressed. Then he like uses ambush union, checks one, it's clean, runs into the CCS that burns one on attack on when it gets fronted, eats a clean damage, mills 4 clean off of Snot Aquas, and I think he triple trigger clean. I could be wrong. I didn't see the last attack, honestly. And then when I look back, he ate a level of damage, and I'm just like, what? Like the first thing I was imagining was, wow, this guy's just going to triple cancel, and that's pretty disgusting too. Like cool, CCS just getting destroyed, and then like a second later, it's like, oh, I forgot Weiss Schwarz is a really cool game.
Oh man, dude, we're just addicted to that gambling of like top checking cards. It's basically Weiss.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's been a lot of games like that though, which has been pretty. It's been hilarious, man. Watching some of these games.
What was the last game we casted? I think it was it Broderick versus Mauricio, right? Both of those games have been really, or all of those games have been like really, really wild.
Yeah.
I know, like, what is it in the last game or whatever? Mauricio was at like level 3 for like 4 or 5 turns of the game or some crazy stuff just because he kept canceling.
Yep, fate doing fate things, I say.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, those matches have been pretty silly. What do you like? Not to I guess be too negative or whatever, but what do you guys see ways to like improve this event for future time? Because I think Ian and company have basically expressed that they want to continue doing this and they want to do more and get feedback from the community. So I'm wondering what you guys would like to see from the future of if like the Weiss Schwarz Invitational 2 happens. What would you want to see?
I think they're probably already going to cover it since they did like an English only thing. They might do a JP only, or not a JP only, but like a JP format one, which I'd like personally be more interested in. Probably like, I don't really know. You're like the main guy, so like scheduling and all that and how all that works out, you're like the only one of us who's really privy to that.
Yeah, scheduling for this event as a player in it is absolutely fucking nightmare. Like, I hope in the future they break this up by region and like maybe at the end they can have all the regions fight each other, like the winner of each region.
Top
Yeah.
four of each region.
Yeah, what's killing me about this event, at least personally, is just the amount the players are expected to do their own like, you know, scheduling and stuff. I always say this for like online events, they need to have like in the rules like, hey, if you guys can't accept a certain or figure out a certain time to play your match, they should have a default like this date, this time, this is, if you guys can't decide on something beforehand, you have to play it on this day at this time, and if you can't make it to this time on this day, then you just forfeit your match. Because like a lot of weird shit's happening where like some players are literally across the world from each other and like they have completely different schedules, and some people in this event are legit like no longer college students and they're working like 9-to-5 jobs and having a real life and have to pay their own bills. So it's like super tough like for people to like, you know, find time to do this. And then I also personally like, I kind of like the JP format invitationals that we watched, you know, like a month or two ago. I kind of like when they broke up each group into like little pods, and just did all those matches in one
Oh,
day.
so like like the blocks and stuff.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Like how a lot of I think Dragon Ball Fighters kind of did something similar to that in their one of their last like world tours before everything got shut down, where they had like just 4 players to a block, and then those guys like faced off against each other and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I would love to see something like that continue in like the next one, possibly, because I don't like how like sporadic all the matches are. It just feels really weird. Like people are like waking up at 2 a.m. to play matches and stuff like that, instead of having like one concise time where everyone knows if we show up at this time, we're going to see like 4 matches that day. I would really like something like that to happen, but I don't know if that will actually come true, because especially if we're trying to push this as like a worlds thing, or like Ian is at least, the time is really tough, right? Like for like everyone. But yeah. Anything else? Like, Dean, you have any complaints or anything about this event?
No, I mean, I just like watch it, right? I know you mentioned I think like maybe like a more dedicated way to figure out who's streaming what games, because I know that like you mentioned that like halfway through the tournament, the way that like the games became like free for all.
Oh yeah, you mean for where the matches are being commentated to and stuff?
Yeah, because I noticed that like now there's because before we had like Connor, us, UA,
and
Ian.
I think that
like,
was it, right?
I feel like most of the time now it's like only the last like week was like only Ian and Strictly.
Yeah, I mean, not even that. It was just kind of weird that this event, like, as it continued forward, like more and more people got like thrown into like the streaming pool, and like this is like backroom stuff, but like they changed the way people register their like when to stream and stuff, or register matches for streams, which is really tough, because like the only time I can look at Discord really and like try to schedule things is like towards the end of the day, but usually by the time that happens, like I can't like get any matches to stream, because all of them have been taken up by like the other streamers, because they recently added like even more like casters onto the group, which is like pretty whatever. I mean, like
I think that's fine. Just like find a way to like divvy it up between them, right?
Yeah.
Like don't just.
Yeah, for sure. It's just like, everyone kind of get like, I guess, somewhat of an equal share or something like that is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, because I think it'd be like a little more interesting with different commentators.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Anything else going on for the Invitational? You guys have any last things? I guess not.
I'm looking forward to see who sacks a win in this.
Well, we already know Jesh is winning, right? So Jesh is getting first, but we need to figure out who gets second, right?
Well, Riaz finally got into the losers bracket, like I predicted. The problem is it took him like 4 rounds to get into the losers bracket.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna.
But that means he can still make the losers bracket run, and he can still win this event.
Oh man.
It is the Riaz. He is the strongest player.
He's only won Worlds twice, not 3 times, guys. You need to calm down.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Tony in chat, Karka Sakura versus Alkazation finals. That shit would be hilarious. Oh man, I'd die. Holy crap. But yeah, I guess one thing to spoil. I'll spoil something here. I don't know if Ian's gonna get mad at me or not.
Oh.
But it's too late. I've decided to spoil it anyway. Don't know how many yet, but Ian and I worked together to have a top placing playmats for X number of players in the top, which we haven't decided yet on that. But I think Ian's going to announce it sometime soon after we finalize some stuff, and you guys will be able to see the playmat that's going to be sent out to the top players and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I've seen like previews of it already, so I guess you guys can look forward to that. But I think that is the train is coming on by just in time. let's see here. But yeah, I think that kind of covers most of. Whoops. There we go. Hold on, I am messing around with this. There we go. All right. I think that covers basically most of the stuff we have to talk about Weiss Schwarz Invitationals. I'm really looking forward to that finishing out. The next thing we have here is the Bushiroad Summerfest that's happening tomorrow for Weiss, right? You're entered into it, right, Nico? Tomorrow.
I managed to somehow sneak a spot. Yes.
Well, you better win for us because I did not get a spot, unfortunately.
I didn't sign up either.
All right, Nico.
Is that the 32-person tournament that they're having, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I still need to read up on all the rules. If it's JP, looks like
It's
again.
not. There's
It's
no way.
English for sure.
No, well, no, because their past tournaments that they've had in their remote fight server, I believe. I spoke to somebody who's kind of like does like part-time admin work over there. I think he told me it was all mixed format. So
What? Damn.
if it is,
What the hell?
yeah, if it is,
I don't need to take Grisaya.
I guess I just have to show
All
everybody once again that Summer Pockets is the best deck, hands down.
You need to calm down.
It's not, guys.
Dang. Well, I guess I better wake up tomorrow and see if people don't show up. Sneak my way in somehow. And destroy people with Grisaya. Did they release any pricing for it? Wasn't there some kind of pricing? I don't even remember anymore.
Was that?
I don't recall seeing any.
I thought I saw something.
I would have to double check.
I don't think it's like anything major or anything like that. But
Nah.
let me check. Let me check the page really quick. Let's see. Remote fight server stuff. Where is the spring? Oh, here it is. Oh, it has no information. I thought I saw something on their website, but I guess I might be wrong. I thought they were giving out something to participants or some other thing. They do have like some scavenger hunt thing, and I do know tomorrow. I think also they're doing some Vanguard show match for their Vanguard mobile app, right? The Vanguard Zero. I think I saw something for that as well. So if you guys are interested in the Vanguard side of stuff, that is going on. I know there is some different what is it called? Like Vanguard YouTubers that are in it or whatever. I know Different Fight is going to be in it, which is I met him the last couple of Worlds, which is the commentator for Vanguard at Worlds. I did a little bit of commentary with him at Worlds, not last year, 2018. And then I saw him this year too at the 2019 event. So that will be a pretty fun show match for you Vanguard people. But yeah, it's kind of cool that Bushiroad is at least trying to do some kind of event stuff online, because we know Japan has actually continued with their WGP, but they just moved the format to shop, like the shop format, and I guess we're gonna get something somewhat similar. We have some kind of point system, right, for ours. I forget. You guys remember?
With ours, then it just like if you like top the tournament, you get the prize. It's like really basic, I thought.
Yeah, I thought they had like if you get this many points, this happens, and so on and so forth.
Did they have points? I don't think they did.
They did have points, I believe.
Oh yeah.
I'd have to relook at it.
Yeah,
but
I think there's two different
points.
PRs, right? There's one if you get enough points, you get the like prize PR, and if you get X amount of points, like I think it's like 4 points or something, you get guaranteed like participation PR. So you have to enter like 4, because every time you enter an event, you automatically get 1 point. I think it is, if I remember correctly. And so you need to play like 4 events over the course of 2 months to be able to get the participation PR.
And yeah, Brandon is right.
It's not tomorrow.
It's the 5th of July. It's not tomorrow.
On a Sunday? What the heck? All right.
Well, I mean, tomorrow's like a holiday,
yeah.
so that's probably why they're trying to dodge that.
The most important holiday. Hey, no.
Heck yeah, Freedom Day.
And then Audrey in chat too saying that there's going to be 2 seasons. each covering 2 months, and you get points based on placements and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting. They haven't announced the PRs or anything yet, right?
I think they may have said it was like, well, no, I think all they said is like you might have the opportunity to redeem some of your like spring PRs. So like for you Goblin Slayer players, I think you might be able to finally redeem your Priestess if you if you're able to.
I gotta find where I threw it. It's probably one of my deck boxes somewhere. I forgot about that for a long time because it's been so long.
Yeah, I forgot where I put my little voucher
when
thing
did we
for that too.
That stuff was like early February, right? Or June?
That was like forever ago. Wasn't that the last event we had right before the lockdown?
I think so, pretty much.
Because I just remember coming with CCS and being like, "Wow, this deck is really powerful."
Oh man,
how'd that go for you again, Dean?
There's a lot of Konosuba for some reason. CCS was unplayable.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I think I was thinking of the thank you event that Audrey is mentioning in the chat. They're doing a bunch of like events at the same time, so I'm kind of getting a little mixed up on what's what.
Interesting. They're saying too there's like a thank you event going to happen as well, possibly.
Yeah, I think that's where the Priestess PRs might be able to get redeemed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to those events. At least it gives us something to look forward to. That's kind of cool, and hopefully I'll do some content regarding that stuff. Yeah, you guys have any last thoughts on Summerfest stuff?
Can't wait to lose.
Can't wait to lose, yeah.
It's going to be hype.
Same. All right, so the big drop by Bushiroad tonight before we
20 or 30 minutes right before we started casting.
Before we get close to the end of our very short cast, it seems like today, Bushiroad announced a couple new sets. Let me throw these. I guess if one of you want to talk about it, I'll throw the pictures up on the screen. What one are you going to talk about first?
So I guess, what is it? They announced 3 new sets. They announced Magia Record, the mobile game version. They announced Magia Record anime version, which is still not out in Japan. I think it releases early August. And they also announced the new English exclusive that we were all just kind of thinking. So I personally thought it was Ruby, just because like that seems like a freebie. But it's actually Mob Psycho 100, which is hype.
Yeah, dude, I'm actually really hyped for that. I even like consider it as like a choice to be in, like, especially the English exclusive. But I saw a chat earlier, someone's like, can't wait for Mob Psycho 100 JP version to be released, the improved version.
Oh no.
I think that the sad part is like
it could happen.
It could happen.
That'll be really funny. Well, even if it does, like, I really like the property of Mob Psycho, and like the whole One Punch Man and like One as an author is like the stuff he writes is pretty cool. So it's kind of exciting that like this series is being released at least in English first. And I do know on the West, I think a lot of people on the West really like Mob Psycho 100 a lot.
Yeah, isn't it mostly like is it bigger in the West than it is in Japan? It seems like a Western type show.
It does. It definitely seems like a Western type show. So I'm not sure though. I've never actually looked at like popularity polls or anything like that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do, especially because like, have either of you seen the show?
I do not watch this. No.
Okay, so like Mob is the main character, and like when his emotions get out of control, then that's when like all his power gets released basically. And they do this thing in the series where it's like as he starts to get like more annoyed or something, or his emotions start building up one way, there's a counter that goes on until it hits 100, and when it hits 100 is when he like goes berserk basically. So I'm wondering if there's going to be some weird mechanic like that added to it, like with markers or something. That'd be pretty interesting. I wonder how they're going to like incorporate that in the card game itself.
Give me Devil Survivor. What is it? Devil Summon or HBD? We need 13 markers under this thing, or maybe 10 markers to summon out whatever.
And Winnipeg Weiss is saying they're going to get 10 markers and then you win instantly. That's how it was like in the show, man. Every time he hit 100, then like everyone just got destroyed by him. All right, so, I mean, outside of Mob Psycho, there's not much we can really speculate other than this. That's going to be hype, at least for me. But Magia Record, we already know one of the sets that it's going to be releasing the entire like card pool. I know Nico, you've been on that for a little while. If you want to talk
I
about it.
got bamboozled.
Uh,
Dude.
oh yeah, that's right. You did get bamboozled.
So like I recently quick wine story. I recently purchased a playset of the first set, and then I pre-ordered the second set in JP just because Bushiroad English was taking their sweet damn time announcing this stuff. And yeah, they just announced this, so now I'm just like, damn. It's like one of the sets that I just kind of genuinely wanted to play in English, not as like a super competitive, but kind of like as a fun thing.
Looks like you'll have to buy it again. True fans won't care.
You're correct.
True. So what? I mean, we know the cards in that set coming out. So like, I mean,
Yeah.
Is this set gonna make a huge impact on Tomatica itself? Like, I guess because the set goes from unplayable to playable now, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So like, we obviously like I think they're doing the anime, so set 2 Magia record or whatever you want to call it, spoilers right now. So we don't have too much info, but like set 1 kind of like gives it some modern day tools, but it's still lacking a lot of other decent tools, if that makes sense. Like the set at the moment, I think like unless you're running mono yellow, still has very, very little mill. They got an okayish like level 1 combo, but like if you're going into a field of AOT, that level 1 combo
it's
ain't
like a
gonna
6/5
do shit.
Shimikaze, right?
With back row setup and stuff, it'll be usually like 7k, but yeah, without any back row, it's just 6/5, which is kind of weak, and it's on a book trigger too, which is kind of blah.
Oh yeah. I think like the standard build is basically book gold bar right now.
Yeah, book gold bar is I think the quote unquote standard build. I think some builds run like gosh, what was Surino? I think Surino was on a shot. They run like book shot.
Oh yeah.
If they prefer the Surino top end over the Madoka.
Yeah, that's the burn. If you cancel, right?
It's like the heal burn. Yeah, heal and burn.
That combos not that bad. I played in my like little meme deck, which is like gate, or no gate. Is it a gate? No, gate shot. That's what I play. It doesn't even have a level 1 combo.
Wasn't your combo like blank gate or something?
I don't have a level 1 combo. I just play like these 7Ks and then I bounce it back to my hand if things go bad. That's one thing though the set's getting though is that level 1 JC, like it's basically like a 7K JC, which is kind of cool, right?
Yeah, the JC is pretty hype. Depending on how you build your deck though, it can be and just kind of like how the game is going, it can cause like super awkward situations because it only gets the JC effect if your front row is level 1.
Oh yeah, that is a weird thing.
So it starts to lose value like kind of like a little bit later into the game, and then you can't like I know we talk about this, the classic play of like, you know, fielding shitters and stuff. Can't really do that unless you can ensure those die and you still have the level 1 on board. But yeah, it does like I said, so it gives it some good updated tools, but like if we're only talking about set 1 stuff, it's not going to get pushed to like anywhere. Probably the most you could rate it is like low B tier or something.
But isn't that relevant? Like, what other set right now in English even has a JC for people to play around? Batman. I know Batman does, but Batman's not a real set.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like AOT's like a pseudo JC because it's just a bounce back, right? So you deny 2 lanes, which is pretty cool, but yeah, I guess so. It's
like the first one.
Yeah, but it's not gonna.
It's like because Batman's a joke.
Yeah, but it's like the JC's not gonna make too much of a difference, I don't think. Like it's a neat ability to have, and you might spook some people who don't know what it does, and who kind of like play into it, but it's not gonna push the setup that high.
Yeah, I agree. Is there anything else in that set that's like really noteworthy, stand out? Not really, right?
They got a really decent early play.
In yellow?
I think it's like a Sayaka.
Oh no. Oh yeah, the one that salvages the Sayaka's wish. Yeah, that is really.
Yeah, it's
really
like
good.
It has a similar profile to I think it's like the Ellie in the new Love Live set, where it's like it gets 4/5 on play. It blocks backups. It doesn't block events. So and it's gets the power cross turn. So like on play, it's like a 13/5. No backups, so you can't anti-change it right away. And it also grabs Wish, so like yeah, it's all around just really solid card.
Yeah, for sure is. Oh yeah, Tony in chat.
Yeah, Tony actually brings up a good point. Alice does have the JC,
Yeah, you
but
gotta
it's
send it
like
to clock or
clock
something.
yourself.
really,
Yeah.
really want that to happen, I guess. But yeah, I guess it is something to consider playing around when you play against that deck. Dang, was there anything else in I feel like there was something in Modica that was like pretty decent. I guess I can't remember right now. I don't know. I haven't played that set in a while. Oh, the level 1 Modica I like. The one where you reverse your battle opponent.
Oh, yeah. You are such a sack with that.
Yeah, there's a
Oh
level
my
1 Modica
God.
that's like, it's really big when you play it, but whenever it reverses the battle opponent, you mill the top card of your deck, and if that card exists on the field already, you can send the card you milled to stock. Oh, dude, I love sacking with that card. It's like the most fun card to play with for just sacking extra stock. Yeah, I think that's basically it for Record. Like, Record was a really solid set when it came out. I don't think it was like too like oppressive or anything, but it was just okay. And I think English is I feel is like
Madoka can't ever be good. Let's be honest.
Unfortunately, well, Monica was really good when there was only one set, but it was like that 1 year only.
Very cool.
Oh man. Yeah, I think that is it for Monica. So I think in the end, like, I think we kind of all agree. This set's going to be like relevant. No, I mean not like competitive relevant.
It's not going to be super
but like
relevant.
if you see it, you're not going to be like, oh shit, that's a really shitty set. But
yeah, you're not going to.
I feel like
because across from Madoka.
Yeah, right now Monica is definitely like in a position where if I sat across from it, I'm like, oh sweet, I just get to win this game for free. But after this new set, it's just going to be like, all right, as I actually play the game, kind of.
Yeah, you actually have to pay attention to the game.
Yep. All right, let's see here. All right, I guess we'll hit up talk a little bit about the recent releases in JP really quick, and then for anyone that is interested in answering any or having us answer any other questions, you can post them up on either the Burn One Discord, or you can post them up in chat here in a little bit. Once we get done with this, we'll take some questions, but I mean, this is probably going to be pretty short stream today because we're just announcing some of the stuff about AnimeEvo and Weiss Schwarz and stuff like that. So the most recent set that just released was FGO in JP and Bang Dream in English, right? You want to
Bang Dream released today, I believe.
I believe so.
Yeah, it hurts a lot.
I'm sorry, Dean.
What is it? I believe Connor from what is it, Bone Stone Sink, said he only found 16 errors.
Only 16.
5 of which apparently are actually relevant to play, but still 16 errors. So very
good
cool.
to see Bushiroad keeping up their end of the bargain when they made that announcement about being better.
Well, okay.
No, yeah. To be fair, it's probably not going to happen until a couple sets.
It takes a little while.
But hopefully down the line, especially like 3 or 4 sets from now, if we're still getting really bad errors, I'm going to be pretty upset at like Bushiroad themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah. Wait, what were we talking about? I totally lost track of what I was saying.
We were talking about what is it, FGO for JP and
English, yeah. So what do you guys think? I know Dean's very sad because he's buying all these Hello Happy World foils and signs, but I mean, like, what do you think?
I'm looking forward to you trying to break Hello Happy World, Dean.
So expensive. why are like the new SP so expensive? Okay, small rant about the consumer side of this game.
Oh boy.
So a play set. If you guys don't know, finally Bushiroad realized they were like fucking all the consumers, right? Like absolutely raping them, because people were buying cases and they literally had to pull good SSPs or like their case was worth garbage because a playset. It didn't matter that there was like a playset and a half per case. Bang Dream had such a large card pool that like you were forced that like you like the card price was like forced to be at like a certain level. So like you get like the last set of Bang Dream and like what you had like 2 expensive cards. You had like Fever.
The last set of Bang Dream was like actually I don't think there was a lot of like super
like
duper
Fever,
expensive. Like Fever Cosme,
and then like a Ron Healer.
Yeah,
but you only got like 6 of each of those in a case. So you're $1,000 to get like what is that, like $200 worth of cards roughly,
Yeah.
and then you had to get the rest out of foils. It was disgusting. So I thought when I saw that people were getting 2 play sets per case, hey, these foil prices are going to be cheap. Instead, the foils were more expensive in this set. Oh, it hurts.
Damn.
So yeah, I've almost secured a full Hello Happy World playset of foils right now. So that's pretty
Oh,
cool.
thank God I'm basically sold out of Bang Dream. I'm so sick of like building, at least building it in English. JP, I'd probably build it if it became like super relevant again. But I'm too busy on this Grisaya train now to stop.
Oh, are you actually my favorite anymore?
Well, it depends if our little transaction goes through, and then it might happen. And also, I'm waiting for this other like Japanese person to get back to me about buying his deck. But yeah, yeah. So how do you guys feel like this new set's gonna like really hit on the English meta? I know we talked about it before, but like that new Kasumi and the Tay combo are out, right? Is that the way to go still?
Don't know. I haven't played with any of it yet.
Yeah, I have not actually purchased Volume 2 in JP just because I got really tired of having to spend like having to double dip essentially and buying it in JP and then buying it in English. So I just waited for the English release because obviously Bang Dream's coming to English. I think me and Carmen have been brainstorming some deck ideas. We're trying out Pants Standby. We'll see how that runs, but kind of like looking at some of Japan's lists for the most part, they're still like really, I think, on like Kasumoka, whether it be Fever Kasumi or even like old Kasumi, and then they'll just add in a few of the cards from the new set. The Layer Ricky is the one that comes to mind right away.
That is a huge, actually, boon for the set.
Yeah, if you're playing the good stuff deck, the Layer Ricky is actually really solid because it's like what Mill 2 on play, and then Salvage Ricky, which is the first time it had like an on play Salvage Ricky.
It's like a 4K beater most of the time, right? Depending if you hit events or not.
What the most important is it lets you like not be level locked. I felt like Bang Dream the only set that you could reliably sit across from. I'm just gonna level lock this guy. It and Sao are like the big like meta decks in English. They like level locking still works against. Every other deck, your opponents are like 0-4. You're like they're just gonna double Ricky for some reason.
No, yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. That does bring up a good point. I never even thought of that. Like how that's a set you can definitely sit across from and not be afraid to level lock them or leave them at 0-5, knowing that there's no way for them to really get to that extra damage on themselves. I guess now that's something you have to consider about. You can't just level lock them that easily.
Which is actually just huge, right?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Especially if they're like playing the Fever stuff. So like if you're trying to be cheeky at 0 and then they Fever Kasumi you, that just feels really bad because they just like super plussed.
And Mill 2 does help the Fever because I felt like the Fever deck. The reason I personally never wanted to play Fever was I just felt like it was bad, right? Like it didn't give you enough mill. Because like you lose the stars, and the star deck is absurd with like how much you can mill in a turn.
Mm-hmm.
But the Fever deck, it just like whenever I would look at it on paper, I just felt like I wouldn't have enough deck control for that to be worth my time to play.
Mm-hmm.
But like adding just like a mill 2 Ricky does help a little bit.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
But I think ultimately, Bang Dream doesn't matter. Like impact on meta doesn't matter for a while, right? Because like, we're having events again.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the question.
Mm-hmm. I think it brings up the set's power level, but it's not something you're still going to be like actively building around, I guess I would say.
Well, Bang Dream was never like a set you build around, right? It was just like it existed and it did its own thing, and there was not much you can really do to stop them. So you're just like whatever.
Yeah,
I built around Bang Dream for a small period of time.
Oh, really?
Because like when choosing like 0 lineups, do you want to play a level 1 oversized, or do you want to play like a 4K or like a runner or something? Like you had to think about Bang Dream for a while because they're playing that like the bomb.
Oh, the Saya bomb and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Saya bomb. Yeah.
So I do think it's like wrong to say that like you like didn't think about Bang Dream when deck building. I think you might have.
Yeah. But it wasn't your top priority though. You're never like actively trying to like when your deck building is like I need to beat Bang
this really
Dream.
good matchup against Bang Dream or something. It was always like an afterthought, right?
I felt like you kind of wanted to like play around like I guess playing around Yukina is the same as playing around Mikasa. So I felt like you had to like keep it in mind. But yeah.
I think a lot of the times it's just kind of like a small bonus you got and be like, hey, if I make this, like, I play around like Yukina and Mikasa, It's never something like, you're just solely playing around Bang Dream.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it for Bang Dream. There's not much to really go off of here since, a lot of events aren't happening. But JP side of things, FGO released, 1 week ago?
I believe it was
one or two weeks ago. FGO released. I actually didn't get a lot of time to even look at it or experiment. But what I've been seeing around is like Standby Gate is being played a lot. It seems like.
Yeah, that's the couple times I queued into it on the like Card Games Discord. That's I think mostly what everyone's been playing is Standby Gate.
I think you were telling me a little bit earlier too. You're saying like the deck itself, or at least this current iteration of FGO, just seems just like this set seems good, but not. Yeah,
it's
not nothing amazing.
It doesn't seem to be. Maybe like people are still like working out on like refining their builds and stuff. But like while I was playing against it, I'm like, oh man, it seemed like a generic standby dot deck. Like they try to standby out the Gil, so he starts building them extra stock. They run heavy on like I'm trying to win board, and try to cheese you out a bit with the finisher with shuffling 2 cards back in and then burning 4.
We have our boy Ollie in chat. 4 book, 3 standby, 1 gate is the play for FGO. Trust. What is the book combo? I don't even know. Do you know?
I think the book combo is the correct me if I'm wrong, Ollie, just because I never really cared for FGO, so I didn't read. Yeah, it's Magro, but it's like you ditch.
Oh no, that's terrible.
You can grab 2. Yeah, it's not.
Oh.
Yeah, ditch 1, check 4, grab 2. Yeah.
Can you imagine? I don't know. I always like imagine the worst case scenarios for cards.
Yeah, just it always happens to Dean, so of course.
I don't know. Do you play events in FGO? If you do, that's like super unplayable.
I don't think you do. I don't recall seeing many events in the lists I played against. Actually, I don't think I recall seeing any.
I just know in my mind, you're gonna discard a card. You're gonna get like either like 2 climaxes. I mean, 3 climaxes, of course, is like the obvious one where like it feels super bad. But like, what happens if you just see like 2 climaxes and 2 garbage cards? It's like,
but you plussed.
Yeah, we got you. The true play is you ditch a climax and then like Fate says here you top check 4 climaxes. You go, interesting.
That is powerful. It is.
At least you didn't trigger.
It's not the fact you got an egg, and then like you have to like get rid of a card in your hand. There are times that like I don't want to get rid of cards in hand, right?
Yeah.
There are times when turn 1 I don't want to clock draw. Like,
I think they originally meant it for it to be something like what is it, Yuki? But they didn't want to print Yuki again because Yuki's a little too good. So they're like, oh, let's try this Maguro thing.
I still don't think that Yuki's that good in like modern day Vice. But that's just me. I think that like paying a stock to like get a +1 is pretty terrible on a climax combo.
I think to kind of like argue against that a little bit, it's like it's good because it can give you like the illusion of giving your first deck pseudo like second deck compression because you're ripping out so many cards from your.
I know the idea, but that's like a lot of stock, and then
it is.
And you're like, I can't play the game. How did this happen?
I think I've seen some of the invitational matches actually reflect that.
Yeah, they get to the end and they have like 3 stock because they Yuki'd 4 times and they had to play Amagi and Brainstorm and they just actually have no resources. It's just like a problem with the card, right? It's like you can't afford to like waste stock like that.
Yeah, a little side story actually, dude. when I got back into Weiss after like a year and a half like break or whatever, and then I actually flew to Texas when I actually was like, hey, I'm gonna get back into this game and I'm gonna be more competitive and actually care about the game. I flew to Texas with Clinton, and it was like Konosuba one like just released like a month or so ago, and I've been playing Konosuba like a lot, and I was like, I love this Eris deck. It's so stupid. Like I get to like swing like 5 times at turn 2, and then my opponent just can't never catch back up. But for some reason, before the event, I was like, I have to play Sword Art Online. I feel like this is the only deck I can play to like relatively, like for sure make top 8, because top checking on Eris and whiffing feels really fucking bad. At that event, dude, I've never played Sao before that event. Literally, my first game playing Sao was like a couple days before, and then when I got there, that was probably like my 3rd or 4th game I've ever played with Sao. The entire event, I was just so upset because I was just like, I actually hate this deck. Why didn't I realize this sooner? Like, I never have stock. I never have anything I want. Like, it's too loud here. I want to go home. Dude, I fucking hate that deck so much. And like, I almost made top 8. Then fucking another local from Chicago, Alex, like knocked me out of top 8 contention. Like the last round, basically. Yeah, got hit with like the lose to the 1% triple cancel on one special, you know, and but yeah, either way, the dude after that day, I was just like, I fucking hate this deck. Like, I understand like why people like it. I understand that like it can give you that pseudo like instant compression, so like you're not gonna take as much damage as you normally would in a normal like paced game, but like playing with like your resources in that deck is just really annoying, and especially if you're not like grinding that deck out and making optimal decisions all the time. I hate that deck, dude.
Yeah, it's a lot of stock, and then you're just like, well, what do I do?
It sucks.
And that was you said that was a long time ago, right? So did they have the Snot Aqua yet? The
Oh yeah. It was like basically the current list it is now, except with like maybe 1 or 2 changes because there's some new cards in there. But it was basically the current deck. Yeah, I think it had a Magi 2 at the time. So yeah, I think I wasn't playing a Magi, or was I playing a Magi? I don't remember. But yeah, that was just a really annoying deck to play. Like, and especially when I hate Sao and like I hated the deck playstyle. It was a dumb decision by me at the time. But yeah. I guess moving on though, like we had one other set actually that came out, right? Was or not come out, but Dean got a hold of it. I mean, if you want to talk a little bit about Lost Decade, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lost Decade is broken. that set is actually just absurd.
I just remember quick like brief near it. I was playing against Dean in our locals, and he's just doing all of these random card effects, being like, yeah, equip this, yeah, this lets me search, yeah, this lets me do this. I'm like, I guess we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Now.
Equip, re-equips.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, like, if you said, like, yeah, equip, this goes to the waiting room, I get to destroy a card in your field, I'd be like, yeah, sure, dude, yeah, you got it. Makes perfect sense.
Well, there is one that, like, kills a card on your board. The, well, it, like, next 500 your entire board, including back row. The set, I was just playing around with, like, some of the cards. They have a spammable, Ozza, so it's just like a card that you play. It just has act, discard your finisher to like top check 4. So normally with like the spammable Ozzas, because I guess they've done those a couple times, like you have to play a vanilla for them. So like, you know,
yeah,
a lot of people haven't actually like played around with like a profile like that. It is so absurd to mill 20 something cards in like the second turn of the game. Just be like, you know, drop this 3/2, drop this 3/2. Oh, look, I found it again. Drop this 3/2. Found it again. Drop it again. Brainstorm. Oh, hit one. Ozza again. Second deck. I'm 0/5. Like, yeah. The finisher is actually absurd. It's if you play the Pandora, it's on the standby. It has a global soul assist, so you can choose to make it a 3-soul beater if you need to get that extra damage. Unlike other standby finishers, where I felt like you didn't have the reach if you were like too far behind. But then if you have double of this, okay, so what was it again? It's like you need 4, 5. I think you need to have 4 stock left over, so I think you need 8 stock at the beginning of the turn. And if you could do double back row, which you play standby, so you only need to have one on board already, of the Field Encore, like you just like sack it from the back row to like save a card. If you can win 2 lanes, you have to win them. You don't have to crash. You have to crash 1 lane. You can get 8 burn ones across with 4 of them on your turn and 4 of them on your opponent's turn.
Oh yeah, it's really
pretty
spooky. That top end.
It's a pretty sick set. I'm very sad that we're not getting this in
English or something.
Yeah, we're not going to get this. Well, we're not going to get English. We're not going to be allowed to play it in the. I don't think that Japanese is like a real format in America, but like we can't play it there either. I can't go to like New York and get the dank wins.
Yeah, unfortunately. It'd be interesting if the set comes out in English. It'd probably be called Aurora Legends because that's what the game's called in English, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like Lost Seconds is a 6 set. Like I lost to Dean in locals top 4, which I was just like, oh, I'm dead.
That doesn't
it never happens. Dean made top locals. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know what to do anymore. My life was over at that point. I know. I know. Nico was like, "Thank you, Dean, for beating Kid." that was good.
Dude, fighting against Kid at
Oh,
locals, if you're ever in actually like fighting against them in tournament, is impossible.
So I do want to say, like, because I got this like list out. I just like linked it in the chat. The things that I got from playing the deck.
You didn't actually link your list, my dude.
Huh? Did I not?
You just linked this was my first draft.
No, yeah, that was my first. That's what I played.
Oh wait,
No,
hold on.
I'm
It's
saying,
probably hold on.
You don't actually have the list.
Here, I made you a
Yeah.
moderator. You should be able to post links in chat now. I think it automatically removes links in chat. Post it again.
Yeah.
Did it go through this time?
Did it?
I don't know.
I linked it.
Just
refresh?
drop the link in
What if I refresh?
notes. Yeah, you probably have to
It probably doesn't
refresh.
recognize you as a mod.
Yeah.
Okay, this is actually impossible, boys.
No, I'm
Here
saying
we
you
go.
can just drop the link in show notes. Yeah, and I'll link it for the chat.
Yeah, this was my initial draft because I just wanted to play around with some of these profiles. One, I think the 2-1 profile is absurd, especially with the standby package. I do think that like in some way that may be the way to go, just because like it's a 2-1-9-5 if you have the other 2-1 in memory, which is like cool to be able to convert like random cards to memory. But it's the fact that like since you play standby often at like level 1, you can just like standby out this 2/2 that's a 1500 to front, which means that this is now a 2-1 11k. That's pretty spooky, especially since you play anti-change counter in the set.
Yeah.
And then this 2-1 refunds its stock. But the big thing about it is it refunds its stock the first time you use it. The second time you use it, you start getting extra stock, right? Which is very powerful. Having extra stock to play with is always like a good thing in this game. I would say that you could cut out the early play heal because I felt like I never had enough stock for the early play heal. It was the only problem I had. However, I had to fight against Charlotte. And then I'm like, wow, Charlotte's a really cool. Charlotte's a really cool set, and I have to just sit here and try to loop this like heal. That's like the only gameplay I have. I think the 1-1 event is a trap. After playing it, it's both a trap and it's both a trap and the strongest card ever. It's like some games you can't because the problem is. You have no way to like find events in the set. There is like a pay 1, ditch 1, top check 3, but the strength of this 1-1 event is the fact that you get 3 stock back, right? So the second you use like a pay 1, ditch 1 to find it, like you're shorting yourself a stock and it feels less good. But the problem is like you have to hold it, right? Like if you have 1 in hand because of the stock requirements of the deck. Half of the time you're not allowed to play it and you have to hold it, and then you have to wait to find a second one to then play it again to be able to like play both of them at the same time. So like maybe the 1-1 event is a trap. I'm not sure. I think the set seems really solid. It's got a lot of cool cards. I think there's a lot of ways to build it. Very unfortunate we're never going to be allowed to play it in English or in America.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Nico about this in the car ride back because we rode together. I was like, I think I asked you like, how do you feel about like Dean's deck and the 1-1 event, right? Because like the 1-1 event, I think Nico was saying about the same thing. It seemed like kind of like a trap or something. But like the game I played you and it like went off. I was just like, I hate my life, dude. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah, no, when it goes off,
Yeah.
it's absurd, right? Like, because it gives you that extra mill, especially in the early game. Because like when you look
Yeah.
at the list, right? Like you don't have a lot of mill because I'm not playing the
Mhm.
Maguro. But like the problem is like you play 4, you think you find 2. I found 2 most games, but when you don't find 2, it's like because you're sitting there. The problem is you're sitting there holding it the
Mhm.
entire time, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
you're like, I need to find a second one, and when you find a second one, it's all good. I think it's cool that you can check because this 1-1 event. It's like pay 1, send a memory, top check 4, add a character. And then if you have 2 in memory at the beginning of your main phase, you can choose when to do this. You can send both of them to grave to stock charge 3. So you can save that for your finishing turn. You can just like randomly cash it in right before a refresh to get like 1 extra compression. You can do a lot with it. It feels so powerful, but the problem is it worth the 4 deck slots? Because I don't feel like you could play
Yeah.
3.
I don't know. For that event, no.
Yeah, you had to play 4 for this event. I mean, maybe like
Yeah.
maybe the secondary effect isn't like.
No, it is 100% because like the stock overhead. I don't think 8 stock is a lot.
Wait for what? What are we talking about here?
Because you need 8 stock.
Oh
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
top
No,
end,
but I'm
right?
saying like as far as this event goes, like maybe the top check 4 is actually more valuable than you're thinking right now, and then the payoff for the double in memory is like just a bonus payoff you should be worrying about later. No.
You do not play a top check 4 event in any other set that has it by itself.
Yeah, I'm just like looking at your list because you mostly don't have mill outside of the ditch level 3, right? What other mills in this?
Okay, do you know how absurd that
Yeah,
mill is?
It was pretty bonkers. I agree.
You look at your opening hand, you go coin flip, 2 level 3s, and like a Ricky, and you go, I'm Ricking into that Azusa next turn, and I'm not ditching these level 3s. And then like you just randomly mill 20 cards, and you're like, this is literally the strongest set. Yeah, I it almost makes me wonder if those vanillas are worth playing in those other decks that like have that profile.
It's curious, but like my initial impressions are no. Like the reason why this seems so strong is because it's on
It's
a
good card.
it's on a good card. It's literally on your finisher, and you're not going to be using your finisher in the early game anyway, and you're probably not going to be trying to sculpt for it at like level 0 right away, right? So
The package just seems really strong.
the fact that you have the option to just be like ditch this card and look at 4 multiple times, no less, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's also like really good in the mid game where sometimes like it's like not set up, and then you go for that clock draw, and then you see the 3/2, and you're like, nice. I basically have like a lot more draws now.
Yeah.
Because like you usually want to cash this Azusa macro. It's actually more valuable than a brainstorm. I found like this Azusa was more valuable than my brainstorm almost every turn.
Interesting. I think one other thing to note too is like didn't see this at all like when you initially played it or whatever, or didn't realize it until I played against you, was like when you were going really low on this level 1 game and you're playing like literally like 500 for every other character. What's that profile called? Usually it's called the
Taiga,
Taige
right?
profile or whatever. I was just like,
Taige.
this seems pretty weird. I don't know why he's doing this, but I mean, sure, whatever. And then you dropped it down, and I was just like, my characters are all like 6'5" minimum, so like you have to crash. And then you played standby, and then I was like, oh, this 2/2 supports makes your guys 8K. That's kind of okay. I guess you win all the lanes. I was like,
Yeah. Well, it was more like I was like sitting here looking for 1/1s that I could stand by into, and then I'm like, because like when I was building the list, right, I was trying to fit the things that I thought were interesting in the set, in ratios that I felt like would be comfortable for like what I wanted to do, and then I got to level 1. I'm like, I literally only have 3 slots. How did this happen? Uh, and so I'm like, okay, do I play like impactful 1/1s? Like, what do I do here? And I'm just like looking at the cards. I'm like, there's no good cards. There's actually no good cards. Your 1/1s are like 7Ks that are like come and play, give a card 3K. They don't have Encore.
Oh
And
my
you're just
goodness.
it's like wow. Well, I guess I played this Taige. It's cool rare. Oh, it's an uncommon. Oh, thank God.
Damn, yeah. It used
That
to be
used
rare.
to be, I think,
Yeah.
a rare profile. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like something that people because I've seen like a lot of I've seen other decks do this. Mostly, I've seen like a Gurren Lagann list that Chandler played at one point do this. I think level 1, if there's like a point of the game that like you can try to get by without like being super impactful, and try to like cash in on like a better like next level, it's probably level 1. Because there's like level zeros that have like lineups that are absurd, and you can coast through level 1.
Yeah.
And then like if you can like cut down your level 1 to just like very minimal like cards that are like slightly impactful, that you can like load your deck up at level 2, right? And then go for the huge power spike that then like wins you the game. It's kind of like what Sunshine does in English, right? But like I feel like people don't do it with other sets as that often.
Yeah, but you have like you have the impactful level 2 like combo, right? This is other
Yeah, like I wall up with this 11K when it's behind the 2/2, which usually my level 1 game was I would play down the 1, stand by out the 2/2 behind it, and then I would go from that to these 9/5s that like every turn they
just
lived,
get more and more advantage, right?
if I could find another book. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, but yeah, Lost Decades definitely a set I think like worth looking out for. Seems like pretty solid so far. And yeah, like the top end's so spooky unless you're playing Charlotte.
Charlotte's a cool set.
No, dude, it is. I'm so happy now that I've won with it. I never have to play it for locals again.
Too bad it's going to get banned. I don't know. Do we think it's going to be banned? There's going to be a change to the chat.
I know Bushi has been known to ban like in general, or not ban, but like keep a track of like the anti-fun cards. Like I know was this like 2 or 3 years ago, where they were like looking at all the cards that were like, this card stops climax play or something, so this card has to go. And they were looking at one point to ban like the Gil from Fate Zero because if you drop the draw 2K one, you can just stop someone's climax combo at the end of the game, and it's like, so they have been known to ban those like, I don't want to say anti-fun, but like, you can't play the game set or like cards.
Yeah, I was wondering, but then at the same time, we see a lot more cards that just like randomly get the boon that they can side attack without soul penalty, right? Like we have a lot of those like getting printed now, like randomly. So I was wondering if that's like their answer to Charlotte, and they just say, get good kids and play these cards.
Start checking for this one deck, yeah.
No, I'm not sure.
But I still don't think Charlotte is the big boogeyman. Like Saikano is still for sure like the real big boogeyman.
Yeah, right now for sure.
Japanese
I forget. Because this is the problem with like
our locals don't play a lot of it, so that's why I think like we all kind of like forget easily. But like, yeah, it's anytime you like queue into it, you're just like, oh, cool.
Well, when
my opponent has 12 memory for no reason. When
you go to Japan and you enter every tournament you get to fight like only Saikano, literally only Saikano. You go, this is cool meta. Thankfully, we don't have that problem in America. Probably that in that many places, right? Because I feel like America, since it's so segmented, people just play what they want.
Yeah.
Maybe not Cali.
Maybe not Cali. Cali might still be on the tier list.
No, people out there for the most part still play what they want. At least I feel like when I was out there, there's definitely more people trying to be competitive for sure out there. They have much bigger events than we do. But yeah, so I guess we're gonna probably close this podcast out. So if you guys have any questions you want answered in chat, go ahead and throw them up in chat now. We're gonna take the couple questions we have here from our Discord that was posted here as well. So our first question is actually from Tony. one of our supporters. So thank you, Tony. Knowing what we currently know, your biased opinion, come September, what do you think would be the top 5 sets / decks in each format if the BCS and WGP season started as normal?
Okay.
English.
Yeah, you can do English. I'm writing out my JP one right now because
Okay.
I'm pretty sure English
Off
isn't
the
going
top of
to
my head, 5.
Yeah.
5, right? Konosuba got the movie set by then, right?
Yeah.
Broken.
No, I forget if Konosuba movie set might be October.
It doesn't matter. Konosuba's broken. Like no skill deck.
It's still really good.
Actually, 0 skill deck. Then we have Bang Dream. Bang Dream, now that has a Ricky, I think is actually finally top tier. Before, I don't think it was. You know, after watching the Invitational, I don't think Goblin Slayer is very good. I don't think Priestess is good. I think it's I think it actually just gets beat by all the good decks right now. So what else do we have? AOT, I guess we'll give it to at the moment. Because
Fate?
Huh? No,
Yeah.
Fate's the same problem as Priestess. I don't think it does anything. I think it just loses to the good decks, and it does like nothing. It just does nothing, right?
Yeah, sort of.
I think that's the problem. Oh God, we need 5.
Sunshine, baby.
Bang Dream is 7 sets. What is this?
Oh, Slime. Slime should be top, right? I think Slime's really good.
Yeah, that memory list looks pretty spooky. And I think
Fujimi, maybe? I think Fujimi's like a really good baseline deck of like this is like the floor you have to beat. Yeah.
This is the standby deck, yeah.
Is Fujimi better than Overlord?
I think so, yeah.
Fujimi contests board better than Overlord, I believe.
I don't think that matters, right? Like, because like if you're in a standby heavy meta, right? Like if you want to beat Overlord because Overlord's being played, then I think that they like counter each other, right? I think that like if Overlord's popular, Fujimi is better. But if like there's no standby deck running around, Overlord is just infinitely better, right?
Oh, Overlord has that really weird level 1 spike, which is like really good. As long as it resolves that level 1 like spike in power. I always like the deck. It's just I don't know. I've never had to play Fujimi like more than once. I've like only played Fujimi when I was playing the deck like a couple times against Nico when we went to Atlanta, but I've never actually played against the deck itself. I do know that Fujimi requires you to clock yourself a lot of times, like randomly, because they have such a good.
Well, I see the deck is 8 standby, and I've never played Fujimi, so I can't say much. But my experience with 8 standby is you're like, wow, this is so cool, I'm winning board. And then it gets like a little bit later in the game, you're like, my hand is just garbage. And I have my board set up, and every time I trigger a climax, I just get super depressed. And my cards do nothing but win board. And I don't know how I'm actually supposed to win this game.
Feels like that for sure.
So
but like that's like where you like death grip the 2/4 events. Is it 2/4? Is it like 3/3 or something? I forget. Oh, 3/4, yeah, 3/4 event. You death grip those in that deck for sure. That's the only way you win games. It's like the double -2 soul in 2 lanes is like pretty powerful.
Yeah, but like this is like the problem with Priestess, right? It's like the good decks just ignore it.
All the ones that have like what's it called?
It's mostly Konosuba.
Konosuba AOT.
Like, it's mostly
people that
either
have like
Konosuba
anti-target, or like actually, you know what? Overlord doesn't. I guess would be a really good matchup against Fujimi in a sense because they can just nuke your board before that happens, right? Oh no, you'd have to side attack first or some shit, right? So,
or they play I guess it's not as big of a thing, but they play they just get to the point they're so compressed that like sure you blank their damage for a turn, but then they're just like I'm like 8 and 15. Good luck killing me.
Well, Fujimi does have stock swap.
Yeah, it does. It's on a character.
Yeah, it does. It has stock swap on a character.
I shouldn't talk about these sets. I don't actually pay attention to this game right now.
Yeah.
I pay attention to sets that I buy, and then other sets I'm just like, that's cool. And then whenever I fight against a set, I ask what their cards do. I have no idea. I just see 8 standby and I assume, okay, how do you get this character then to your hand? Because how many of it do you play?
You play, I think most lists usually run 1.
1. How do you get your 1 up to your hand in your
Brainstorm,
8
baby.
standby deck?
Brainstorm and hit, buddy.
You telling me you never hit
what's
on
the
your
problem?
brainstorms?
Do you not hit brainstorms?
Oh, this is really expensive. Pay 3 on a body. It's the Nobunaga. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a cost 0 though, so.
Ollie in chat with the...
Still pretty expensive. Especially if you're
wisdom.
trying to play 2-4.
Yeah, just draw it, forehead.
Just draw it. Yeah, you're right. I'm bad.
All right. What about JP, you guys?
So I kind of made a quick list, so you guys can kind of argue with me, but I think at the moment, from kind of what we've seen revealed so far, I would say if there's no ban list, it's probably going to be these 5. So I'd like, these are no particular order, but
Ooh, already naming Dal up there without even being out. What, really? Oh my god, 1 second. Alright, we should be live again, hopefully.
how's the audio, guys?
Audio good, question mark. Wait, when do you guys
Yeah, it
talk?
sounds like audio's good.
Oh, good?
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Alright.
But yeah, so I'll just go over it real quick again. So I think my top 5 at the moment is Saikano, Konosuba, Slime, Sunshine, and then I'll toss in Data Live. Just because looking at the cards initially for that set, it looks a little bonkers, but I could be overhyping it. If it's not Data Live, I would say Grisaya or Charlotte could fill that like number 5 slot.
Grisaya? I don't know.
Grisaya's a little. If it gets off, it's pretty. It's rude to play. I think that's like the only way I can describe it. It's like the deck's pretty rude.
It's like well, the best way I can describe it, it's like mini Saikano.
Oh yeah, I forgot about SAO Anniversary.
Oh, SAO Anniversary is really
yeah,
fucking
that could
good.
also make the list.
Holy shit, yeah.
Problem is, like, I've hardly ever have any like gamer match experience against it, so that's probably why I didn't put that up there. But yeah, SAO could also very easily. I think SAO probably would place higher than Grisaya or Charlotte.
Yeah, it's probably SAO is definitely in the top 4 for sure. I think like it's like what Saikano's Sword Art, Love Life Sunshine, probably Slime.
Probably right.
What?
I believe Slime was Japan. I think on the most recent tier list, Japan rated Slime very highly.
I think Slime
and I know
is just
kind of
really
like
good.
playing against that deck, like the deck can get off its game plan so consistently, and then they just like start building this memory compression and just like healing and stuff, and just kind of like wringing you out of resources.
So, Saikano, definitive tier 0. Slime, I guess, if you don't own Saikano, you can play it. SAO, if you don't own either of those.
Yeah.
Well, I think like Slime and SAO are probably like starting to get like interchangeable, like in power levels. I feel like Saikano is just like definitive S
Yeah,
tier.
I think agree. Saikano
yeah.
like is anyone would agree. Saikano is literally I think the best deck in the format, basically. I feel it.
Man, do you guys remember when Saikano Set 1 released and that whole set was a joke?
I
remember.
Fun. It was great. I wanted my wife who turned
And
it
then
with
Set
that.
2 dropped and everything changed.
Oh, Sunshine's second.
Yeah.
Sunshine's like 8 standby.
Yeah,
right?
I
Like
think
the
the major build is 8 standby.
No,
You don't think so?
I don't think so. Because I think it's I thought it was the pseudo Summer Pockets thing.
No, I think
Yeah.
those both decks pop up, but I think the predominant deck is the 8 standby list actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll leave that one to you just because I'm not really interested too much in JP Sunshine.
Yeah, like the thing about JP Sunshine with 8 standby is like I don't know if I'm doing like I don't watch enough like other players play this deck. I just only do from what I see, and what I think how the game should go. Is that deck is very like snowball heavy. So like if you get some like really strong standbys off early in the game, you can snowball a game and just like win it, and like you constantly win board. You constantly like throw in bigger things coming out all the time. It's really hard to remove their like 2/2s once they drop and stuff like that. It just feels like a deck that's just like built to snowball until they win the game, because their top end doesn't necessarily like isn't very scary, but they play a lot of heavy into like scrying damage away, as well as like pinging damage with the Yo level 3. Usually I think it's a reveal in, I want to say 9, I forget the number, but generally you ping anywhere from 1 to 2 on average is where you hit normally. So it's usually a ping, it's like a pay 1, ditch 1, burn 2 occasionally. So it's like really, really solid overall. But the deck does have like some of its like awkwardness if you get like hicked up where you're just canceling a lot, but you're forced to like slam things from your hand. That's when like the deck itself feels really bad. But like the biggest like I think linchpin to the deck being super good is when you get 2/1 Rico out and you can constantly just like ditch cards for your level 0 like utility, and you like grab like the free fresh and other things like that. Is just really, really powerful when you have like these 1/1s you don't want to play in your hand, or these like 2/2s you don't want to play in your hand, right? I think that's like the biggest appeal to Sunshine, at least for me when I was playing it. And then like the deck has like a lot of early play heals and a lot of healing in general, so it's like on this really heavy healing game plan into like slowly killing your opponent. The only other thing is, like you were saying earlier, you were kind of considering, Nico, like Grisaya and between Grisaya and
that was before I remembered about South 10th, but both Grisaya and Charlotte are both kind of like still really, really solid decks.
Yeah, this is really weird. I feel like Grisaya and Charlotte are both like relatively like same power level. Oddly enough, it's just like both.
They do.
Yeah, they both hurt the meta in different ways. So if like people are running around a lot heavily with like these burn lists, you probably play Charlotte more often. But if everyone starts leaning heavier into healing, you play Grisaya, because the Grisaya is like the premier anti-heal deck at this point, because there's no other lists running around right now, or decks running around with anti-heal that are like really predominant as Grisaya. And like I said earlier, it's kind of like a mini Psychono in the sense, because it usually sends about 8 cards to memory every game, and then you just like sit there and you have like high rates of cancel on top of having like your top end being heal to stock and ping for 1 or stock swap.
The problem is like it doesn't dodge stock heal though.
Yeah.
So like,
is heal even good? Like,
so
I guess I just like wonder.
It depends, like, because I think like what Sunshine's really high on.
Sunshine's a deck that has
like
a lot
early
of heal.
played normal heals.
Psychono's a lot of heal. Sword Art Online 10th anniversary, does it heal a lot? I forget. It's top end heals though, right?
It heals the stock.
Oh, it heals the stock, so yeah, it dodges it or whatever.
Side doesn't really do too much. Charlotte heals on
as well
play,
as
so it does
Slime also, depending on what build you're going.
Yeah, Slime also heals.
So it's like the thing about the anti-heal too is that you want multiple in memory, because this is one of the few anti-heals that's like you don't pay additional stock, you pay the cost by discarding cards from your hand. So you end up destroying your hand just to heal once. Like last locals, a person I was playing against had to discard 2 cards from his hand just to heal once, so he wouldn't die to refresh. So it's really powerful when it is powerful, and when it's not, you don't care even if it goes to memory, because it's still like semi compression. You don't really want to send it to memory at that point, but you do it anyway if you trigger a climax or something. But you end up building like slow compression that way, and your deck itself doesn't care about healing because you just heal the stock anyway. So you dodge your own anti-heal that way with your top end. That's basically it. And then like the tempo for Grisaya, which is what I think is most powerful about the deck, is I talked to Jason about this. I think we're both in basically agreement. The 1/0 bomb with 2 souls, like one of the best cards in the deck. It's like one of the cards that almost makes the deck as good as it is, because it's this costless 2 soul beater that you can just loop forever, which is
it's also a suicider for whatever reason.
Costless 2 soul beater that you can loop forever. I remember talking about one of these and being bad.
When? For what? If you say Kokoro.
3-0.
What?
Oh, are you talking about your cats again?
Get the hell out of here, dude. That costs stock, dude. This costs nothing. All right. But yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I think that's basically it. I think we kind of, for the most part, agree on like these lists. At least what we consider like in the top 5 for English and JP. Let's see. We have one other question here. This one's from Audrey, another supporter. So thank you, Audrey. She asks about how long of a window should you give a set to come out in English before assuming it is not coming. I don't know, dude.
Well, if we take a look at Magi Reko, it's apparently you gotta wait like 2 or 3 years.
If you think about it too. When did Haruhi come out?
Kantai said 3. Or the Kantai, the European fleet, right? Wasn't that?
Yeah.
That one came out like forever after.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Can't wait for Monogatari to be announced in English.
Dude, I'm waiting. I'm still
yeah.
waiting for Cinderella Girl Set 2. So I can play that dumb deck again and then like lose still because it's too weak now.
God.
Man, yeah, I think there's man the way they release stuff. There's almost like no like window that's like if it's been a year, it doesn't matter.
It's so
It could
wild.
randomly still come
It's
out.
so hit and miss too.
I'm sorry.
I said it's so wild and it's so hit and miss
Yeah,
too,
like-
right? Like you would think Sao 10th might be a contender, like for release, just because it's fucking sword art,
Mhm.
and then they just don't announce it.
Yeah.
They announced a lot of other stuff, though. To be fair,
Yeah.
like they've announced a lot of sets. Like they're pretty far into the future right now.
Yeah, I mean, like recently they've been more in line with like the JP releases, right? We're just like randomly getting some stuff here, which I guess licensing came up and things like that. But I don't know if like you can really count out any set, even if it's like 2 years old at this point. Overlord's like 2 years old now, right? 2, and it got announced. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if it's like a semi-popular series in the West, and it came out within like a couple last few years, like there's a chance it can come out in English. Just
Is Overlord
yeah,
that
it's
old?
Yeah, it's fairly old.
Hmm.
But I think that kind of covers up everything tonight. Not too many questions or anything. Rambled on for a bit. But yeah, I guess we'll probably be seeing you guys next week, possibly. I'm not sure. It depends on what's going on with the Weiss Schwarz Invitational. Last few weeks we were casting on Friday and doing other stuff, so it's been kind of hectic. And if there's more Evo, AnimeEvo related news, we'll definitely announce it here as well, and try to make sure everyone in the community is like informed about the event and everything, and how to sign up. So be sure to watch out for that. Other than that, you guys have any last minute shout outs? Is this just silence?
I don't think
All
so.
right. I guess with that, follow my shitty ass Twitter account.
Oh my
I'll
God.
keep doing it, dude.
Don't follow this guy. All he does is like now like retweet VTuber
All right,
crap.
dude. If you like VTubers, come to my Twitter account.
Absolutely generous.
All right.
The only good thing with VTubers is Neptunia VTuber game coming out.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
man. All right. Other than that, guys, we'll see you most likely next week, unless Weiss Schwarz Invitational takes up this time slot again. Later.
Have a good one, guys.